So, sorry.
Okay.
Will you please introduce yourself? This is Quinn Devero, everybody. Quinn Devero, say hi.
Hello, how we doing?
Will you tell us where you were born and raised?
So I grew up in a town called Palatine, Illinois. It's a northwest suburb of Chicago. And I was living there for 18 years with my mom and father, and then my little brother as well.
So sweet. So it's Chicago.
Yeah.
So you're used to the snow.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, it gets really, really snowy out there, so you gotta be a little cautious of the weather app a little more than out here. You know?
Yeah, you gotta carry a shovel and some sturdy shoes.
Yeah. Sometimes, just get the moccasins on and throw on the earmuffs and get them out there, you know? Yeah.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah.
Well, can you tell us what instrument you play and what inspired you to play music?
Okay, cool. So, my earliest memory growing up when I was 3 years old, I remember playing my grandmother's piano. And I thought it was really interesting because instead of like most kids, they'll just like bang it and like mess around with it, you know? And then next thing you know, I'm like going through each and every note and just trying to learn it as if like I'm coming from a different life before when I was like, music was my thing. So that was my original instrument was piano. And then when I was 10 years old, I got a gift from my uncle and I got my first guitar. So it was like a black Fender Squire. It wasn't anything to write home about. But
nice, I still play one of those.
yeah, it was cool. Now I got a Telecaster, but so it took me like 2 years of hating guitar, and then out of nowhere, like one day I was playing and it like sounded good, and I was like, "What? It sounds good," because I was so good at piano. So it's just like I was like, I don't even have to play guitar, you know? I just like I could hear anything and play it on piano. So then when I picked up the guitar, after 2 years, I like finally was able to like actually introduce myself to it in a way that was like important.
So there's a couple questions in there. So first of all, you threw in the piano at me. So when was that your first instrument that you learned to play?
Yeah. And
how was that when you played it when you said you were 3 or something?
Yeah. So since my earliest memory, I've been playing piano.
And then you picked up the guitar. And then what song was it? Okay, so then what song did you learn on the piano first? And then what song did you learn on the guitar first? If you remember, or closest to that, right?
Dang, I want to say usually on the piano I'll just kind of write my own music. And that was more like...
When you were little?
Yeah.
Wow, okay,
so
cool.
I would just like play random stuff and then like call it my own. But I think the first song I learned was a song called Brick by Ben Folds. He was actually my inspiration to become a piano player. And then Coldplay came along and I learned how to play Scientist and a bunch of other songs by them.
Wow.
So that was kind of like my thing for the piano.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and then guitar, I always, I learned how to play, the first song I learned how to play was Sweet Child of Mine. Just the,
we all love that.
Yeah,
you gotta love Guns N' Roses out here in LA.
Yeah, of course. That's LA. You know?
That's our alma mater? No, I don't know.
One of those things.
Something like that. Yeah. Whatever word that is. Nice. Very cool. So, was there a special moment that struck you to like pick up that guitar or?
Well, I guess for the entirety of my life, music has been an escape for me. So I always had like different dreams, different focuses, but I always had music to fall back on when things were not good. Like my family didn't like when I played piano, so I was just super loud or something, and I couldn't play anything besides like how I felt. So I would only play when they weren't home, and then same with the guitar. I'll just go down to the basement and just sit there and play. You know, I got an acoustic a little later down the road, and that was fun for me. But it was just kind of one of those things where it was my escape. It was just for me. I wasn't playing for people. And then I remember when I was 10 years old, my grandma walked down. I was playing piano after a family party. Everyone's sitting upstairs in like a different area, and I'm in this little low area by the like dining room.
Nice.
Hang out, living room thing.
Nice.
And so I'm playing piano. My grandma comes down, and just me and her, and she's like, you know, you could sing too. And I was like, in my head, I was like, oh, singing's dumb. Like people that do that are like girly or like, you know, like. So I was like thinking about it like that, like just like a little 10-year-old kid, like all worried about what people would think.
Yeah.
And then so I started singing, and that's when I like put it all together. Where I was like, you know what, like I can sing too, and like it releases so much emotion, and like so it made me it would heal me. That's kind of like how I healed myself throughout the years.
Wow. So what song? I love that. So your grandmother inspired you to learn to sing. Did she also inspire you with what song to start with, or did you already like jump up with what you knew you wanted to sing, or how did that come out?
I would just hear stuff on the radio or hear stuff wherever and like just learn how to play it. And then there's certain like groups that would inspire me. Like I grew up listening to classic rock from my father, and my mother would play like the newest stuff. You know, like that was like alternative though. So
right,
she,
right.
Like, like she would, like yeah, so she would be like getting the records of the Cranberries, while my dad would buy a record from like you know, Jethro Tull or some shit like that.
Sweet. So you encompassed quite a spectrum there.
Yeah. So so that was cool. But I never like did music for other people's songs. It was mostly just to do it for me.
So do you remember the first song that you wrote? Or close?
Well, the first song I wrote was on piano, and I was like 5 years old. But it was like super simple and basic, but it sounded really pretty.
Can you see your fingers?
Oh yeah, it was like
air piano. I'm bringing air piano back.
Let's
we
go.
love air piano.
Yeah, it's different than air guitar. It's a little more heartfelt.
Yeah, you really gotta.
Yeah, you gotta get in there, and if you want to do like some crazy shit, then you have to like, you know, like hit it with the, and then carry it up, and then boom, 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 boom. You know, one of these. So.
Fancy. I like it.
Yeah, piano's fun. So.
Sorry, I got sidetracked. But getting back to the, can you see yourself in there?
Yeah.
Okay, so getting back to the, you said you were writing your own songs at 5. And how did you know? Did you know what was the song, or were you? What did you? Okay, explain that moment.
Yeah. So I remember we were watching this movie. I can't remember what it was, but it's like basically like there's two brothers that were twins and they're kings, and one of the guys had like a mask on and he was like banished.
Oh.
And then like they had this one song in the movie that like sounded like super dramatic and like I don't know. So I like just really liked that song, and so I kind of like wanted to learn how to play it, but it wasn't quite it. So I kind of just like made up my own thing and then did some weird stuff at the end. And then it wound up being like the first song that I wrote. So I remember how to play it still, yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. We ought to get you to play it.
Yeah.
Did it have words too, or was it just a melody?
It was just a melody. It was before I sang.
Nice. And what was the first song that you started singing?
For piano? Dang.
Well, you can be either or.
Man.
Or both.
I don't know. First song, you know, it might have been Hallelujah by Jeff Buckley.
That's one of my favorites.
One of the first ones. And then I really like the Smashing Pumpkins cover of, what's it called? It's like, My Love. Landslide.
Oh, I
yeah.
love those. Wow,
so they did like a really
big
cool
part
cover,
in
so I like really loved playing that one. So that was another song I learned on guitar. Piano, I think I learned The Scientist was the first one I like. Or The Brick by Ben Folds.
Oh, right.
Because I like the emotion there, and then The Scientist was just like, nobody said it was easy. It's such a shame for us to go on. You know?
Whoa, you have an incredible voice.
Thank you.
I look forward to hearing you. Are you going to sing and play in there?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
We're going to have a good time.
Woo! Okay, so there's a couple questions here. What was the first album that you remember purchasing?
Ooh, dang, it was Enema of the State, Blink-182, unedited. Edited. It was the edited version.
Ooh,
yeah.
That's a big version. That's a big. You went right in.
Yeah,
Sweet.
Yeah. I mostly bought it for the picture.
I was going to say, what was it that you wanted?
Yeah.
Made you want to buy the Blink-182 album? But
I mean, I heard all the small things. Or no, I heard What's My Age Again? I had a music videos in the morning for like school. And I was like, dude, I want to get this album. This is sick. And then that was like the first one I bought. And then I wound up buying like a bunch more, CDs, you know.
Yes,
I wasn't
right.
buying records then.
Yes, of course. Cool. So, do you have any shout-outs that you'd like to share to some of your peeps?
I guess just shout to my grandma. You know, she's she's not here anymore, but she's forever with me. You know, and then
we love our grandmothers, don't we?
You know, I guess shout out to my little brother for helping me get here. He gave me a ride because the bus is running late.
Shout out, little brother.
And then just I guess shout out to all of you for hosting me here, and I don't know, I'm just really excited to have an opportunity to share some of the love I feel in my music.
We're really excited to have you here. Well, I am especially. Okay, are you ready for another question?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so what do you think about while you're walking down the street?
Oh,
let me just get right on it.
Yeah, okay. Interesting. Well, some things I don't know, I think about you know, like how I'm gonna make today a great day. Thinking about, you know, things I need to work on. Think about people that I love. I think about, I dream a lot, so I'll be like walking there and just like imagining myself like in some stadium, like playing for all these people, and they're singing my words, and it's like just about sunset, and it's like this beautiful outdoor concert, and like all these people are like just feeling good, and like it's just like maybe like 6:30, 7 o'clock in the summer, and you just get that warm sun beating down, and like this beautiful music, like that's like live, with, like a little funk to it, and that's kind of like, that's what I like to dream about, is like something like that, or maybe also not having to bartend or have to, you know, worry about things that don't involve music, you know?
Starting to like to find a moment to relax. It sounds like you. I really love how you started saying that you just, you know, you got in there by thinking of the people that you and the things that you wished for your day. You know, because sometimes it's hard to remember other people when we get up.
Yeah, I agree.
So I really appreciate that. You know what I mean? Especially when you first get up.
Yeah, for real.
And I also appreciate how you were dreaming about the beauty, not just your day, but your whole being.
Yeah.
You know, you kind of threw in the specifics, and then you threw in the grandiose.
Right.
I think that's beautiful. That's really beautiful. Okay. Okay. So would you share with us like a word from the dictionary? I call it a dictionary word, meaning like not a word that we use all the time, like and you know, how are you and happy and but like a dictionary word that you enjoy. You think it's a great word, and whenever you use it, you're like, that's a great word, or something, whatever.
I
mean,
I gotta think about that first.
Yes. So, yeah, like a word that's like a fancy word, but like not fancy per se, but
right.
You know, like I have a lot of them.
Yeah, I bet you do. I'm trying to think.
I'll
word.
be quiet.
Just give me one moment. I guess I think Illustrious is pretty cool.
Ooh, illustrious. That's
like,
a good word.
Like it's a cool way to think about things. Like you know, the illustrious career, or like, you know, it's like very illustrated. You know, it's like
hey, hey, Psychedelic Flies. How are you guys? Will you come back and chat with us? Yay!
Quinn, we're going to start out with these guys, right? Can I move your guitar to the side with an assumption? Yeah. I'll be very careful.
So they're the first one?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll be very careful, okay?
Oh yeah, you're good. Yeah. I trust you.
All right. Oh, whoops. Can you see you now?
Yeah.
Okay.
There
So I got sidetracked. Illustrious.
Yeah.
So okay, you think of it now. Why is it you like illustrious again?
I don't know. I guess it just feels like a good word for like a person, you know, like it's like, or at least like the path they've taken. I feel like is pretty cool, just because they have like an illustrated and vibrant type of path, like almost like a painting or something that makes me think of like just like something good is attached to a path you take.
I like that. So you look at it as like an illustration, or like a colorful character moving through. Because you said, wait, I forgot the second part. You said that they were being vibrant, right? So they're like pulsating these, I guess, colors, right?
Yeah.
Do you think in colors, or do you think in words, or do you think in sound? Or how do you think?
I don't know. I can see like all sorts. I don't know. I kind of just. But I guess I think like just like as if I'm talking to myself, and then if I need to imagine stuff, I can just create whatever I want to see.
Do you imagine in pictures?
Words? Yeah, I can see
sound.
Pictures. I can hear stuff. Like if I want to like. I can hear like a melody in my head while I'm imagining other things and also thinking about stuff. So I can do like multiple layers of thought, I guess.
That's actually
yeah.
Yes, that's exactly. Well, that's interesting. That's actually one of my questions. Is like, what do you think about while you're like walking down the street?
Yeah.
Did we already ask that?
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
Oh, but now
I was like doing thinking about the outdoor jam, you know.
And your friends and the family. Okay, and that's interesting because now you just did it. So you do a lot of that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I just have a pretty good ability to remember. Like, let's say I close my eyes, I can tell you exactly what everything is. here, and like when I walked into there, I can like I know where everything is in there.
You
just
have
from, like,
visual
looking.
memory.
So like I know he's right there. His little board thing.
Barry, yeah.
Barry's
And
in the
his out of
board.
control Tron.
Yeah, out of
He
control.
built that.
It's so cool.
It's pretty cool.
And then a little rug on the ground with like a couple couches and plants everywhere. You know, you got the little rack on the side and you know the Marshall there, the music books and all sorts of good fun stuff. And then in the other area, there's like a little bookshelf kind of thing. I don't know. So
That's very cool.
I can just like I don't know, it helps for all sorts of stuff. So I have like a pretty good memory, so I'm able to like
Did you do good in
figure stuff.
Did you do good in school?
I didn't.
You could memorize.
I basically if I just sat there, I would get an A because I didn't like try. I would just sit there and then like retain everything without trying, and then like
Wow.
and then I would get in a lot of trouble though.
Oh gosh. Well, we don't want to know about that. Okay. You're an angel in our book.
There you go. Yeah.
Can I ask you another question?
Yeah.
Okay, so you said that you write you're a songwriter as well.
Yeah.
So can you think of a lyric in one of your songs, any song, that you wrote that is like a highest high lyric? So there's two parts to it. There's like a highest high lyric from one of your songs, and then the second one would be a lowest low chord. So I mean, you could do either one first, but that's the.
I guess I'll start with the highest high one because that might be tough. I don't know. I don't write a lot of like happy stuff. I mean, I do sometimes, but I guess dang. I guess the hands of which I've held, the damage that I've dealt, I've had it with this game. I'm happy again. It's kind of like letting go of stuff.
Can you repeat that again?
Yeah, so it's the hands of which I've held, the damage that I've dealt. I've had it with this game. I'm happy again. So it's like giving up on me, like being with love and feeling opposite, and then this game that surrounds it, and then just saying, I'm gonna flush down, and then I'm happy again. So I choose that. You know? It's got this like melancholy kind of like riff after this. It's a pretty song. So.
That's okay.
Looks like it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So I love that. That's beautiful. I really love how the rhyme of you're tired of the hand and that that you've been dealt and then it's like you're stumbling in this cold ice and then you just said but I'm happy again, like you let go into the surrender, which suspended you. Like it doesn't feel like you went down into a crumbly pit. It feels like you were suspended in lightness.
Yes.
That's
exactly.
beautiful.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think of another low one. I feel like I'll do this one from the song I wrote about my friend who passed away when I was 18. Oh, sorry. When I was 18, his name's Cold Deacon. He's a dear friend of mine. I don't know him since like kindergarten. I wrote the song. I wrote the music for it 2 weeks before he died, but I didn't have any words for it at the time. And then he wound up getting hit by like some drunk driver when he was like crossing the street, and like he was at some party and these people were like giving him drugs and like kicked him out, and he like, didn't know where to go, and then wound up like walking in the street and get someone like running him over, and then he was alive for a week, and then they just decided it was like enough. And so the day he died, like I went home from school and I wrote words to it, and it was like I'll try to recite most of it. It's like the springtime flowers, or it's like broken hearts and broken dreams. You'll always be right in my heart, next to my beat. Springtime flowers come and play. Too soon they go, but never too late. The flowers bloom above the grave. Never again will I love May. And then the chorus is like, a mother's baby died today on a gloomy Monday in early May. The mothers held their babies close, but I'll never let you go.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah, so I feel like that's like probably like some of the best words.
Shout out to your friends.
Yeah, Cole.
And all those that have passed away. And it's beautiful that you brought that up, especially today, since today is the memorial of the tragedy that happened in New York on September 11th. So
Yeah, we got the flag out.
Yeah, I brought the flag out for that today. You know, it's really hard. I think that we've all lost a lot of people. Can you see you?
Yeah.
We've all lost a lot of people, I think, and it's really special to like be able to know that we've all lost a lot of people. I mean, it's hard to explain. Like,
Yeah.
it's special that you can sit down and write songs and let everybody know that you've lost somebody, because a lot of people have lost somebody and love that.
Yeah.
Music for it, you know?
Right.
We've all
You connect to it. Yeah.
Yes.
100%.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing
Yeah.
that. That was really sweet. Okay, so if you could be a superhero, what would you be and why?
Ooh, I guess, dang, that's a good one.
You can make up your superhero,
yeah.
or you can be your own. Is this helping you or hurting you?
Oh, it's cool. I mean, I got the little
Okay, I was trying to. I can see the sun hitting your eyeballs. Okay, so superhero. Sorry.
If I was a superhero, I'd be, let's see, probably, maybe like the ability to like turn into like flames and like fly around and stuff. Like not be able to get hurt by like fire. So like just kind of like swoop in and like, I guess, save people from fiery buildings if I wanted to use it like that, unless I wanted to be a villain, which who knows?
Well, right, but I mean, you know, you could be a good villain because you
Yeah.
could fire things that needed to be fired before they became dangerous.
Okay,
Right.
that's a good idea. Or like, you know, like some evil people are doing stuff and I can just
Right.
get in
You
there.
can burn them as well.
Yeah.
So you can, you know, that's so interesting, especially in California. You know, fire is so scary.
Yeah.
I mean, it just burns, right? I
It'll
mean,
just keep
like
burning.
in the mountains.
Yeah.
But so I find it interesting that you found a way to make it a good superhero.
Yeah, there you go.
Right on. I like that. Thank you. Okay, so can I ask you another question?
Yeah.
With the word inspiration,
Yeah.
what comes to mind?
Oh, I don't know. I guess it's like day-to-day things that get me down. I guess just having to like work at a job and do all these things and still find time to like have to make music and show up for events and show up for shows and show up everywhere and like, you know, like just perpetual grind.
Yes.
And I find that to be like just inspiring because of like the depths of it. That's like so hard to like overcome. So I find like I gotta just fight through. So I think that's like what I think I got inspiration, I guess. And then also just like, you know, when people do nice things for people, I think that's inspiring.
That's beautiful. I like how you turned in something that was like, okay, so inspiration to me, right? And then you were like, you started it all the way at the grit, which is the grind. You're like, so there's this big grind that I have to get through every day, and that's inspiring me. And most people know that's when you crawl under the covers, right?
The opposite, yeah.
So that's beautiful. So hopefully that will inspire other people to, right, move through that.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yes, yes. Okay, so are you ready for another question?
Yes. Yeah. I thought you never asked.
Oh, I have piles of them.
Right.
Is there a section in your guitar playing that, okay, so maybe in one song or maybe in like a bunch of songs or maybe in like just in general, like if you're practice scales or something, but is there like a time while you're playing the guitar that you feel that there's this like this moment where you've like you come into the chords that you're playing? So like, is there okay? So I kind of said it backwards. Like, is there specific times or like notes within a song that you when you get there you're like, yes, or something like, you know,
where it like feels good or something.
Yeah, like how the notes like bring you. How
into the music
how does
more.
that happen? Yeah, I guess that's really how the question is.
I don't know. I guess like I actually base it more off like my audience. I mean, like there's times when I'm at home playing and I'm like, man, it sounds beautiful, you know. like I love how this sounds, but I think it's even better when I can apply that same thing with like the people around and their emotions and like just capturing their energy and then like refining it and like giving it back through this music. So trying to like really just like grab onto everything around me and then like use it as like a fuel to like really play.
To play. I like that. I like that. When you talk about those things, are we ready? 4 minutes? We're ready. Okay, so we're gonna say goodbye. Thank you for watching. Say goodbye.
Bye.
Quinn. Everybody say bye, Quinn.
Bye, Quinn.
Thank you. We'll go inside. Go to Radio Venice 420.
All right.